Hello everybody, welcome to Ageless Rock. In this short video clip, I'm going to show you another lesser known man-made cave known as Pitalkhora Caves. Pitalkhora Caves site is in Chandikawadi village in Aurangabad district. It is about 50 km drive from Kailasa temple. Pitalkhora Caves were carved out from a basalt bedrock in Satamala range about 2300 years ago. However, I'm cautious about the time frame because we actually know too little about this archaeological site. It looks like Pitalkhora Caves are not very tourist friendly. Trekking to these caves can be rather challenging. Maybe if it is made more accessible and more people can visit, this place might become more famous. There are 14 caves at this site. However, if you follow the numbering on the map, there are only 13. That's because cave number 9 can be considered as 1 or 2 caves. Whether it is 13 or 14 caves doesn't bother me. What bothers me is how it can be done 2300 years ago. What motivates someone to do something really impossible? I ask this question because ancient chisels are not made for basalt bedrock. Look at this structure which mainstream calls it a cave. I don't think it was meant to be a cave. It is a massive open space with no clear purpose. The only logical link to a religion is a vihara. But if this is a vihara, then there are plenty of questions to ask. I can see easily 50,000 tons of basalt was removed, but yet achieved nothing. If this is a vihara for 100 monks, and for every monk there is a population of 300 inhabitants, young and old, there would have been 30,000 population within walking distance. I don't think a village of 30,000 population will be motivated enough to create a gigantic basalt cavity like this. In other parts of the world, it would be called something else. For example, the photo above is called a quarry. You might believe me if I use this photo for Pitalkhora Caves. But actually, this cave is in Israel. It is called Zedekiah's Cave. Today it is believed to be a quarry. I will argue it is not a quarry because a quarry is never like a cave. Quarry is something you can start from the top and side. In reality, no one knows anything. If you look carefully on the ceiling part, you can tell natural formation on the left photo versus basalt being cut on the right. This is unfinished cave and should show chisel marks. Instead, I see a large part of the ceiling being sliced like butter. I don't know how ancient Indians can do this 2300 years ago. Look at the unfinished carvings on the top. Does it look logical that someone would actually like to chisel the cliff starting from a very high point, dress it to look nice, but just leave it for unknown reason? Why did ancient builders carve this starting from so high and quit halfway? I noticed something unusual about these holes. The top two carvings on the left in white box have arches. I know this is meant to look like a net design, but this is very early stage for carvings where the smaller details usually comes in towards the end. The arch on the right is even more puzzling to me. The arch is clearly out of shape, but yet they proceed with chiseling the net design. The other two carvings are even more weird. They did the net design, then only try to create the arch around it. That means the net design will be on the surface of the design. That's not possible. This is a smoking gun to me. This is like a technology that is shaped from a mold. The mysterious ancient civilization was able to emboss the basalt like what we do to waffle. The net design is like they were testing if the mold will work on basalt or not. I cannot say for sure that just because Buddhist monks have been using this place for 200 years, that means they were the ones who were responsible for this construction 2000 years ago. These caves will take a long time to carve if that is even possible. That means we shouldn't be scratching our heads wondering where the large settlement was. Where did the ancient builders live is something that should not be difficult to answer. There should be lots of artifacts for ancient chisels and hammers, metal pots and pans. It is absolutely strange to me that there is no sign of inhabitants around this magnificent area. If this is without statues, mainstream will call it quarry. Since there are Buddhist carvings, this is a vihara. But if you analyze carefully, this is very obviously done by tools we don't have today. Whenever I see random rectangular recessed holes, I know this site was created by a much earlier civilization, or maybe, as what the alien believers will say, it was created by aliens who live among us but in another dimension. Whatever it is, believing that human did this is just as crazy. It is easy to assume that these are beds and benches. Do you know how hard it is to sleep on basalt? Do you have any idea how difficult it is to chisel and dress basalt? All this were done just to sleep and sit? It would be a million times easier to just sleep on a wooden bed and sit on a wooden chair. Based on simple calculations, about 2,500 cubic meters of basalt was removed. With a density of 3 tons per cubic meter, approximately 7,700 tons of rock was carved out for this chatya in Cave 3 alone. So let's put things in perspective. If a Boeing 747 weighs 400 tons, that means the basalt weighing about 19 Boeing 747 planes have been removed. Would you not wonder where is the rubble? Not only were the ancient builders very good at carvings, they were also genius at managing rubble to the extent we can't find them today. With 1,000 man-made caves all over India, I am pretty sure at least one is a palace. If Indians can do this with chisels 2,000 years ago, there will be at least one archaeological site that is a palace rather than temple. If I am an Indian king and all I see are hundreds of caves carved from bedrock for monks, I will probably order workers to start carving a bedrock for palace instead. In today's context, carving Pitalkhora Caves will be $1 million project. Do you think a government will spend that kind of money so that a few monks can meditate and circumambulate around a stupa? Could it be religion was given by alien and misunderstood as religion? By the way, Buddhist monks circumambulate stupa is to me very much the same as Muslims circumambulate the Kaaba. There are many paintings describing Mahayana Buddhism, but that doesn't mean the painters were the creators of the cave. Can we simply give credit to those who just use it? I think it is a loose connection between painters or users versus those who carve and chisel. Mainstream relies heavily on inscription like this to conclude who is the builder. I definitely have to think twice before jumping into conclusion. I can only see that someone chiseled some ancient words on the wall, but I don't think they carved 100,000 tons of basalt and managed the rubble so well we can't find them today. I also noticed a strange formation on the ground, just like the concept of Nazca lines in Peru. These are very big lines that are noticeable only from flying over. I don't think you can see the design at ground level. I hope someone can enlighten me on what this is. Well, that's all for today. Hope you enjoy my presentation on Pitalkhora Caves site and see you next time. Acha, chaten, goodbye.